Good evening. Happy Monday. Happy Moon Day. How is everyone today? I'm going to go ahead and get this shared out. As you're popping on, please say hello. Let me know you're here. Oh, again, just trying to share this out a couple different places. Once you have shared, go ahead and comment hashtag shared. And that way I will get you a card at the end of the broadcast. Sharing it to a couple different places. Cheryl, hello. Thank you for joining. Let's see. Share it there. I think that should be good. Okay, hi. All right, so Polly, hello, Sarah, Cheryl. Oh, hello, Bronwyn in New Zealand. Nope. All right, once you've shared, go ahead and comment hashtag shared. It is Monday evening here, 8 p.m. I am in Buffalo, New York. Nice autumn weather today. I am loving it. Okay. So thank you for joining on Three of Cups Divine Arts. We are a channel. We're a Facebook channel that has all sorts of readers. We're always adding more. So definitely like the page, join the group. As we're always looking to kind of expand, and the way that we can do that organically is if everybody likes the page, kind of shares it around, and we can grow. Cool. Yes, so I shared it around. Anything else? Let's go. So we have been going through, this is Liz Whitaker. Let me introduce myself. Liz Whitaker from Divination Station Tarot, again in Buffalo, New York. I have been going through, I started with the majors, then I went through the minors, kind of one, groups at a time, aces and up. Kind of in the middle of the court cards now. We're on the queens. So the queens of the tarot are nurturing. They're women of authority. So when the queens come up, we look at that energy. It's their creativity. Katie, hello. Their creativity. So the queens actually run the castle, right? The kings may kind of have the authority, but the queens really run the castle. When they come up in a reading, they can be an indication of your next step, of your near future. Oh, okay. So speaking of, yep, we have Queen of the Pens here. The queens really run the castle, and they will show that next step and what's needed energetically to kind of get there. So we look at their elemental correspondence to see what you might need moving forward. She's very grabby. So if she doesn't think that I'm doing a good enough job petting her, she shows me how. Again, the queens run the castle. And when you look at the elemental alignment, that's where you might need some work. Okay. You might need a little bit of TLC. Either, yes, hi, I love you. Queens inspire. So they're leaders in that way, right? Think of the difference between a leader and a boss. A boss is going to tell you what to do. A leader is going to show you. That's kind of that queen energy, the like silent leadership. Oh yeah. A little meat paw, a little meats. In the Golden Dawn, which I will be showing, they actually hold their, come on. Okay. Their emblem of power. And when I start to go through them, you're going to see what I mean. So Queen of Cups. So we're going to start with cups today. So here, you know, she's sitting in her throne. It's full of like cherubs and shells. And her gown, her cloak, almost blend into the water. And of course, water is emotion. Water is feelings. So it's really, it's hard to pull her away from her emotions. They're so linked. And she's water. So water of water. So double feelings here, right? And her cup. So this is the only time in the Rider-Waite-Smith that we see her, like the representation of the suit looking different. So this one, the cup is covered. It's also larger. And I think other than, I mean, Ace of Cups, it's large, but that's the ace, right? So here it's covered, and it almost kind of reminds me of like the Ark of the Covenant. And that's, you know, we have the two like figures on either side. And I just thought of that from like Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? So, and the fact that it's covered, now I'm forming this thought here, kind of to me says that she is guarding and protecting something sacred, emotions, our feelings. So that's actually something that just came to me. So the Queen of Cups, her mantra is, I nurture through love and emotion. She has that moon energy, right? All of that watery moon energy. She's very reflective and intuitive. Queen of Love, right? She's very warm, nurturing, intuitive, and tender. Okay. Trisha, hello. So she is, oh my gosh, I know. It's a little chilly, so they're definitely getting a little bit meatier. So she's all about that nurturing love. And in the Thoth deck, Queen of Cups. And here we can barely see her, right? We can barely see her through the waves and that kind of undulation, right? And we have it reflected down here. So we have the lily pads. And we have her holding the cup. We have an ibis. The ibis actually showed up. Tori, hello. Nice to see you. George, hello. So we have the ibis, and the ibis actually showed up in the star too. And I don't think I necessarily touched on what the bird is, but the bird is actually a sacred ibis. So I remember reading the Scarlet Ibis in school, and it being a very kind of like sad book. And if you can remember anything else about it, I'd love to know, because I don't right at this moment. But that's kind of that bird here. Okay, and again, we can barely see her. But there's that eye, like the all-seeing eye, the intuition coming down here. And just seeing if there's any other elemental symbols that love to pop up here. And I don't see any. So, and this is the Golden Dawn. So this one, remember how I said they had their power symbols. So here again, we have that scarlet ibis. And sitting in front of the lily pads. This is more, it looks more man-made. It doesn't quite look like that kind of lake kind of feeling that this does. This looks more like more man-made. But again, she's sitting there. She has the cup. This one has the lobster in it. So we saw the lobster in the moon crawling up. Let's see, what else do we have here? So this is the Golden Dawn. And again, one of the decks that Crowley drew from, the back of his cards will very often have this symbol, these symbols. They also borrow very much from Rosicrucian. So a lot of deep occultism there. So that is the Queen of Cups, right? Emotion, all of that intuitiveness. So when the Queen of Cups shows up, if we're looking at it in the thinking of, oh, Maria Pia, hello. If we're looking at it in the near future and what we might need to kind of nurture in ourselves, she's really asking you to be very kind to yourself, to be very nurturing to yourself, self-love, forgiveness. Okay, those are going to be things that she is really asking you to look at. Queen of Wands. So wands are fire, right? So this is that highly energetic. So she is water of fire, steam, right? I nurture through the soul. Live with passion. Self-expression. So there's a lot of that self-expression as well. Creativity. Fire's creativity and energy. Very often, I've seen in more than a couple decks, this will be represented by Kali from Hinduism, right? She is the destroyer of men, but she's also the giver of life. So there's that destructive and creative energy. She's confident and down to earth. She's like the power of attraction, like in a card, right? She is the power of attraction. She is manifestation. The Queen of Living Authentically. So living your authentic life. So Queen of Wands. In the Thoth deck, we really see that sun, that fire energy. And she really ends up, really taking up space, right? She takes up the whole card where we could barely see the Queen of Cups, right? She was all kind of cloaked in that mysticism almost. Queen of Wands takes up space. And we can see it here too, right? It looks like she's sitting very comfortably, like her legs, she's just kind of like there. She takes up space. And we have like a jaguar next to her. And here we have the little black cat. Oh, I love that. So here, again, we have that red energy. Hello, Jenna. And we have the jaguar hanging out, just kind of chilling with her. And she's barefoot. Oh, I love that. So Queen of Wands. So the Golden Dawn deck kind of looks and feels a little bit sparse, especially when we're used to looking at, a very stylized version of that with the Thoth deck, right? This is kind of that stylized version, a lot of the same symbols, but when Lady Frida painted them, she really expanded on the symbolism and really made you feel it. Okay, so that is Queen of Wands. So if Queen of Wands shows up and we're looking at it through that lens of what you may need to nurture in yourself as you take the next steps forward, I would say passion, alignment. Make sure those things are in alignment. Make sure you are paying attention to those. You're making note of those. You're not forcing against it. Okay, so that's how we can show up for ourselves as the Queen of Wands. Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is probably one of my favorite queens. So she is here, right? She is looking to the side, right? She's not looking at us. She is looking to the side. She is looking up. She's not looking at her sword. She is looking past that. And the sword is straight up and down, just like it was in Justice, which was Libra, which is an air sign, and air, water of air. Queen of Swords is truth. She's the queen of truth. Her mantra is, I nurture through the mind. So intellect is important to her. Logic is important to her. And because of this, she may come across and may seem cold and calculating because she isn't as kind of warm and fuzzy as the other queens, right? She's not as warm and fuzzy as, the Queen of Cups, who just wants to love and cherish. The Queen of Swords wants truth. Okay, she is not going to mince words. She is gonna, tell it like it is, as that's, what we value now. She's going to be very truthful, okay? Sometimes whether you like it or not. So she nurtures through words. She is fair and equitable. She is intelligent. She can be known as this Queen of Sorrow because, again, she's not as warm and fuzzy, right? She's not going to... It's not that she's not going to try to make you feel better, but she doesn't necessarily understand all of the feelings, right? She is high achieving, so tends to have that... Oh, I had to move my water over there so it wouldn't get knocked down. High achieving, right? Swords can be intellect. So she is one of the highest energies in the air suit of air. So high intellect. She's also the Queen of Boundaries, okay? So where Queen of Cups can really not be super good with boundaries because she's so caring and loving, Queen of Swords is, right? She knows where her limits are. She knows how to express them and how to enforce them. And that is also why she can be a little cold and calculating sometimes, because she will not suffer fools, right? So if she shows up, it is an indication that you might need boundary work. You might need help expressing yourself in a way that is um, understood and people respond to, right? That sharp word, so that sharp wit. And I'm just trying to make sure I'm getting everyone's comments here. She's also very independent. And also with that, she doesn't like to show weakness. Okay, so you can kind of see the pluses and minuses with the Queen of Swords right there. And here is the Thoth, Queen of Swords. So we see her, she's really like high up there in the clouds, right? So we have that familiar kind of theme with those kind of triangles, that energetic like jumble that we see in the Thoth deck. And that's in contrast to kind of the fluffy clouds around her, right? So she has that sword. And she's also holding, so she's holding a head. She's actually holding a severed head there. Okay, in the clouds. So she's high up above everyone. Okay, and it almost feels like she's delivering that justice, the way she's holding the sword and the head. And this, so in that one isn't quite as graphic as the Golden Dawn. So the Golden Dawn, she's holding that sword high. And she's actually holding a bloody severed head. So to me, that kind of, someone said something she didn't like, and she served justice. Swift and fair. Maybe the guy whose head she severed doesn't quite think it's fair, but fair. Okay, which brings us to, so again, if she comes up, really you may have to pay attention to how you are communicating, and you may need to kind of work on that and show up for yourself in that way. Queen of Pentacles. So Queen of Pentacles, her mantra is I nurture through the body. She is all about her home and hearth and children. Not just her children, but all children. I always describe her energy as like when you're a kid and you go over to like that friend's house whose mom always has like the best snacks. That's Queen of Pentacles energy, big time. She shares her wealth. She does love really nice things. She likes her material items. She likes those things, but she also likes to share them. Okay. She's not necessarily materialistic for materialism's self. She likes to share that. She shares her wealth and happiness. Often like lush surroundings. So here, we have that earth element showing up in the trees and the grass. Oh, Marguerite, hello. I'm doing well. She's charitable. So again, sharing that wealth. So when she shows up, there is often an idea of charity. She is, she does have pride in her beauty and her wealth and her status. So that's definitely, some earthy qualities. You can definitely see some Taurus in there. So here in the Thoth deck, we have those almost like really giant like palm fronds or grass. And she's holding her disc. It almost looks like a turtle shell. And she almost blends in with the nature behind her. And she has those ram's horns or antelope horns. And her emblem of power is the ram. Or maybe it's a goat. It's probably a goat because of Earth. Yes. Marguerite. Where's that? Where's that from, Katie? I like that. And which one was that about? Because I think the comments were a little delayed. So Queen of Pentacles. So here, she's holding, it looks like a mallet. So that reminds me of like dwarves in the mines. And she's holding that disc too. And she's got a goat. So that's why I think in the Thoth it's actually a goat. So when she shows up, one thing that you may need to kind of look at in your near future is how you are showing up for yourself in your body. Are you nourishing yourself? Are you getting enough sleep? All of those things. Are you hydrating? Are you eating right? Are you doing those things for yourself? And I think that's kind of first and foremost, really before the kind of material items, right? Are you, it's not, are you going to Target and buying yourself enough stuff, right? I really think it's how are you showing up for yourself and your actual physical body. Celtic Dragon book. Awesome. Great control and consideration. I like it. Okay. So that is the queens. Those are the queens. I really like the queen archetype because they're very like powerful. And I think even more so than the kings, because the kings are very straightforward. When I think the queens have a depth to them. And I'm going to pull some Lenormand cards. I know some people don't necessarily do single Lenormand cards, but we're going to see how it goes. So what I'm going to say, how we're going to do this is, as I go down the list, think of a question. You don't have to necessarily say it. And I'm going to answer it with one of these, okay? The cards tend to be yes, no, or neutral, so positive, negative, or neutral. So we're going to see how this works, okay? Because I kind of really want to use these. They keep disappearing on me. And by that, I mean they keep getting knocked off my desk by cats, or they keep getting I put them in a bag and I forget about them. So it's almost like they kind of slip out of my view, and then I want to use them again. So we're going to use them. So Polly, you are first. Yes. Oh, Queenie. Yes. So we are all about the queens. So, hi. So Katie's been trying to rehome one of her rescues, and Queenie doesn't necessarily get along with the meows. She kind of wants to eat them a little bit. So I think we should collectively send some good adoption vibes out for Queenie, where she can be either only pup or no cats. And am I about to get swarmed? Okay. Polly, magnifying glass. So whatever your question is or was, magnifying glass is all about looking at the details, really looking at what are you missing? what is that missing piece? Or, really doing a deep dive and seeing what details you're missing. Absolutely. Find Queenie a home. If you're in the Buffalo, New York area, I think I shared the post earlier. Katie, if you want to post it, maybe we can get it around. Oh yeah, now they're both sitting like here on either side. And I laid down for a nap today and they were both on either side of my head. That's how I know it's getting chillier. All right, Sarah. So Sarah, again, if you have a question, keep it in mind. Oh, and the magnifying glass is a neutral. So the magnifying glass really means that there is no specific answer to the question, and that's why you got to dig a little bit and find the missing details. What should you be focusing on? Okay, Sarah. And thank you all so much for sharing. I'm actually going to pop my, so that's my Facebook page, Divination Station. If you have not yet shared, it would be amazing if you did. I would super appreciate it. I'm also going to post my Etsy link down there because I'm really trying to, I'm putting some focus on that. My Etsy is Witch Hearth Creations. And with that, what I'm doing is I'm making things. So I'm making, let's see, let's find my post. Oh. There we go. Okay, so Witch Hearth Creations is where you're going to find my spell bags. I have a few different ones always in stock, and I'm working on some more. I'm also working on some witch kits. There's a couple divination kits up there right now. There's also kind of an all-in-one discreet altar. So it's a refurbished hand-painted jewelry box, and it's kind of chock full with all sorts of stuff, and it doesn't look like a super witchy altar. So if you need a little bit of discretion, it's perfect, okay? So I would love it if you go to Etsy and favorite my shop, and that way you'll always see my updates, and I would appreciate it. Thank you. Sarah. So the cross in Lenormand is difficulties. It is strife. It is something crossing you. It is not necessarily the it's not necessarily the kind of like Christian cross being a beacon of, I don't want to say hope because that sounds real bad. But the cross tends to be something that is actually crossing your path, bringing you to a crossroads, something like that. And it does tend to have an answer of no. Okay, so if there was a question that was a yes or no, this is going to be a no. And it is one of the more difficult cards in Lenormand because it is kind of about discomfort. All right, Bronwyn, you are next. Again, get that question in mind. The storks. So here, the storks are all about bringing a positive transformation or a positive change. Yes, Jonathan, sometimes I do two in a night. This one you can share out. That would be awesome. If you share, I'll get you another card. So Jonathan, just a real quick recap on what I do on Three of Cups. Three of Cups is a channel where you're going to find not only readings, but you're going to find lessons. So I go through and I've been teaching tarot for the past, I don't know, forever. You're going to find that. You're going to find different kind of witchy topics. Bridget does Mythic Journeys. Becky's back. She's been doing some really awesome lives too. So that's kind of what I do here. So Bronwyn, the stork, brings about, again, those positive changes. So the stork, as a yes or no, is a yes. And Jonathan, I put my personal page up there, which you can like if you haven't already. And Witch Hearth Creations is my Etsy page where I have spell bags and witch kits and all sorts of fun stuff that I'm always adding. That's kind of what I was so busy with last week. All right, Cheryl. Oh, and my teacup altars. Cheryl, I just went through the box from you, and they are so, oh my gosh. So I sent a picture. Joanne, I'm sure for cards in this broadcast, we just ask that you share the broadcast out. Three of Cups is always looking to expand our reach and our viewership. This Three of Cups page is actually a Facebook TV channel. So we are always looking to expand that because we want to get more shows on this platform. And we can do that when we get more viewers. Okay. So Cheryl. Oh, yes. Cheryl, I had sent a picture of some of the teacups from you to Katie, and she saw your doilies, and she picked up on them immediately. So they're going to go to a real good, happy home, too. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you so much for the support. I super appreciate it. Cheryl, so you got the tree, right? And this is a nice, really like established tree. And also has the tree of life in there. If you are familiar with Kabbalah at all, the tree of life is everything. And this is stable. It is a stable, steady longevity. So your home is your like stable place. And I know that's like duh, right? Let me explain. So it is a place where you love to be, and oh my gosh, you are amazing. Right? Bringing people together. And it's really, so the tree and that stability and longevity, is really about where you feel whole and happy and at peace. Okay? And it kind of reminds me of the Keebler elf tree. And I really don't know why, but every time I pull this, I think of the Keebler elves. So there's that. All right, Katie. I love these cards, Lena. They are the Gilded Reverie Lenormand by Ciro Marchetti. And I almost want to get one of his tarot decks. I just haven't decided which one. Kay, hello. So Kay, I'm doing 1 card Lenormand pulls, because why not? Because I just wanted to use this deck, because I keep losing it somehow, and I keep finding it, so I must need to use it. Hey, Kay, no problem. If you want to share the broadcast out, we'll pull you a card. I mean by we, it's me. That's fine. Yes, it was. So I used the Rider-Waite-Smith and the Thoth, and then I used the Golden Dawn. So that I haven't actually used those in any broadcasts. So those were kind of cool. So Katie, go ahead and think of a question. And again, if you are on here and you would like a card, just please share the broadcast and just comment that you did. Katie. Oh, and the tree is yes. Absolutely. Okay, Katie, the sickle. So the sickle is quick movement, quick justice, things happening very quickly. It does tend to have a negative connotation because it can cut through. I got you, Kay. It kind of cuts through things very quickly. Okay, so that does have a no answer, but it does tend to happen quickly, and you can kind of adjust after that. Okay, so it's like, it's not a drawn out decision. It's not anything drawn out. It's very quick, and and you can course correct right away. Okay. All right, Trisha. And let me know how this is working for you. I've never really done it this way. But again, with the one pull Lenormands, it really helps to have a very clear-cut yes or no question. And instead of putting them in the comments and having me read them or whatever, just have it in mind. Let me know how it works out for you. If it doesn't work, I won't do it again. But I thought it might be kind of a cool way to get Lenormand out. And I know Becky's going to do a Lenormand show very soon. So I'm excited for that. Yeah, sickles are great. I mean, they definitely have that. They have their place. And for that job, like, they are perfect. All right, Trisha. So go ahead and have your question. The cross. So another one. Again, the cross is difficulties, it's struggles, and it does tend to mean no. So it can be so what I'm getting with this is, instead of that crossroads feeling, I'm really feeling something is actually crossing you. Like in the Celtic cross where you have like you and then something's over you and crossing you. It almost feels like that energy, but it's more like pinning you down or blocking you. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm feeling with that. So whatever your question was, I'm getting a no. But if you can figure out what that blockage is, or what is kind of like cutting off your path, then you can kind of like, or maybe even just circumnavigate around it. Good. Good. All right, Jenna. Okay. Okay. Polly, I did your reading. You were the first one, so I did your reading first. So when you go back to, if you want to watch the replay and catch your card, I got the magnifying glass for you, and you can kind of catch it when I wrap up the live part and go to the cards. Okay? So just catch it on the replay. Okay, Jenna, the swan, or the heart, I'm sorry. So the heart, it is a yes. Okay, so if your question was yes or no, that is yes. Again, it is long-lasting results, long-lasting relationships, and really perfect pairing. Okay, swans mate for life. Swans are, and they really pair off in couple. Okay, so heart. I always want to say that's the swan, but it's actually heart. So Jenna, that is like a perfect match. Okay, perfect pair, perfect match, perfect peace, perfect harmony. All right, Maria Pia, you are next. The letter. So the letter is a neutral. Perfect. So the letter is neutral. So it's not necessarily yes or no because it hasn't quite gone through yet. Okay, the letter is slow communication. It is, if you're waiting on an answer or waiting on a message, like imagine someone, writing in a quill pen across the ages, dipping the ink, putting it in an envelope, using sealing wax, giving it to the courier, having the courier take. So there's this process that this message or this answer is going through. So it's not necessarily yes or no because it's taking time to really cultivate and get that answer. Oh, okay. So with that, I would say, I mean, my instinct is to say yes. But at the same time, really look for, stop it, as my two are, swatting at each other because I'm not feeding either one of them, and it's clearly the other one's fault. Yeah, so really look at all of the signs and really take your time making the decision. All right, Lena, you are next. Oh, he just wanted her spot. Never mind. Get two cats, they said. It'll be fine. They'll get along. Lena, the snake. So the snake in divination in general can show up in a ton of different ways. Can show up as like transformation. It can show up as those signs. In Lenormand, it does tend to be a no. So it's negative. It indicates deceit. It indicates being shady, being sly, being slithery, right? So we have the snake in the apples. So, we are meant to kind of invoke the image of the serpent and temptation and Eve and the apples. So that's what it's kind of invoking here. So that tends to be a no answer. Okay, so that is for Lena. Adrian, I know you're at work, so if you're popping in and checking the replay, let me know. Mountains. Okay, so the mountains are obstacles. So it's something putting itself in your way. Okay, it does tend to have that no connotation. Okay. I'm sorry it makes sense but and Lena, at least if it's a confirmation and something that makes sense, you kind of know how to handle it a little bit better. Okay. And actually, I think the mountains are neutral. Okay. It's an obstacle. So you kind of, and this is again for Adrian. So it's something big in your path that you have to work around. You can climb over it. You can walk around it. Or you can hang out and enjoy its beauty. Stop. Don't bite my card. Okay, and that was for Adrienne. All right, Marguerite, you are next. Oh, if you do join the Three of Cups group, we're doing some like reading shares. So if you are a reader, go ahead and let me see if I can tag the group. Yes. So there's a group. Go ahead and join the group if you haven't already. And you can have the opportunity to do practice readings for other people and get a reading done for you. So it's a really good way to kind of work out your like divination muscles. I'm going to do it this week, so I'm excited. Okay. So again, Marguerite. Mice. So while mice are cute and adorable, they also nibble away at things like bread or your cable wires. So they do have a negative connotation. Oh, yeah. So Marguerite, this answer is going to be no. And it's not something that is a no right away. It is something that is going to kind of like nibble, right? Because a mouse isn't going to take a loaf of bread right away. It's not going to chew through your cable wire in a day. It's going to take time. And it's something that kind of pulls away a little bit at a time. And by the time you kind of realize what's happening, you have like almost no cable, right? So really kind of look around and see who's pretending to be acting in your best interest, but might not be. Okay, so it's someone that could be kind of chipping away a little bit at a time. All right, Jonathan, you are next. And let's see, you had... Okay. So Two of Cups earlier today. Yep, because I did the light seers. Let's see. Dice. Take a chance, right? Dice are going to be kind of neutral, right? Because it's all about chance. It's about luck. And really kind of, like I said, taking the chance. And, you know, with the going with the Two of Cups from earlier, kind of jumping in, taking a chance, and really seeing what happens. Okay? So cool. Okay. Okay. I mean, K. Not okay, but K. You are next and last for the evening. Thank you so much for joining. Again, thank you for joining Three of Cups Divine Arts and helping make it all that it is and will be. I am also available for private appointments. If you are in the Buffalo area, I am booking in person at Rising Goddess. I always offer video appointments as well. I can do Facebook video chat. I like Zoom meetings, and you can record those and watch them if you have any questions. So like my page, reach out to me if you do want a private reading. I am available for those. All right, Kay. Okay, birds. So this is one of two birds cards in here. These are the owls. So the owls are wisdom, and they do Let me just double check. Because I have... Because the other birds are gossip and have a tendency to be negative. Okay, still. Okay. So birds are negative, so that is a no. Here, there is wisdom in this no. Okay. They're also birds of prey, so they're also predators. So it's also a word of warning. Okay, that's kind of what I'm getting with that. It's a word of warning. So Kay, whatever your question was, definitely rethink and see if there is an alternative solution or an alternative way to ask the question. Okay, perfect. Perfect. And especially I think with the owls, it has that wisdom. Yes. Oh, I have a feather deck I haven't used in a while. So which makes me want to get back on my ornithomancy kick. So yes, birds are communication. This feels like a wisdom in that communication. Okay. All right. I think I'm done. Again, I posted my Etsy shop in there. I would love it if you would favorite the shop. I'm really trying to kind of put some focus in there and get some new stuff up there real soon. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I'm going to feed my cat so they stop screaming at each other and me. And I will see you all soon. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.